It's World Animal Day, and African governments are encouraged to put animal welfare higher on their list of priorities. Global marches have been held to highlight the dwindling populations of rhinos and elephants due to poaching. We are now joined by the Minister of Water and Environmental Affairs, Edna Molewa. Honourable Minister, thank you so much for joining us. Now, activists want tighter legislation on poaching. What exactly are their demands?
Thank you very much. Just for your footage, let me remove water. I'm now just with Environmental Affairs.
All right.
Thank you very much. Indeed, we have had a very good day during this World Animals Day. Okay. And indeed, the memorandum of people across the globe. By the way, this is not the only country where we're having these events. Right. Throughout the globe, people are saying that we need to ensure that we continue on the path that was started in 1931 when this World Animals Day was declared, to ensure that we really take care of our animals, just as we also take care of all our assets, because our animals are also our assets. And this is so because there are quite a number of animals that are now getting onto the endangered list. In other words, now getting into extinction, and therefore it is important that these assets of ours are preserved and conserved so that our children's children into the future, way into the future, can also be able to look at these animals and not just see photos, pictures and drawings of them, so that they are really able to see them. One of them is a rhino. We know that in South Africa we are under attack on how the rhino is being poached for its horn. Yeah. And this is something that we highlighted today. On the continent, there's a lot of poaching of elephants, just next door here in Mozambique, as well as in Zimbabwe, Kenya, and so forth, all the other rent states where elephants are actually bred.
Just to interrupt you there,
yes.
Minister, you've touched upon the neighboring countries, and most of these poachers come from the neighboring countries. What can be done to curb this practice?
Well, I think we need to categorize this into two. Yes, the majority of the poachers, who we have, by the way, in our jails, we're not speculating, are now from Mozambique. We have quite a number of nationals from Mozambique. Okay. But we also have other nationals from other countries. We know that Mozambique is actually a transit country. They're destined somewhere. So the people who are being lured into poaching are coming from the previously disadvantaged. Some of them are still from poverty-stricken areas. So what our government has said as cabinet announcement recently is that amongst many other measures that we are undertaking to curb rhino poaching, we need to look at different methods of ensuring that we empower our communities, alternative economic means for them not to be, trapped into this kind of being used, because most of them are being shot at, most of them are really ending up in jail, whereas somebody is sitting there as a kingpin. Of course, we've got to break the neck of the syndicate.
Now, South Africa is said to have the strongest law enforcement in the entire African continent around our national parks, but still the rate of poaching is forever spiking. Could you attribute that to certain loopholes in our law enforcement, or just the overwhelming trade of poaching?
Let me just confirm what you're saying. Firstly, is that our law enforcement agencies are hard at work. If it wasn't because of them, I'm sure we'd be reporting higher numbers. We're now reporting, even throughout the criminal justice system, very high sentences. But yes, indeed, there is a need to do more than what we're doing. They can't work alone. When we end at the waters of South Africa, when we went and at the ports of entry where aeroplanes take off, that's where some other people outside the country need to take off, Interpol and all those. And this is one area that we said we should actually be able to strengthen, so that there is that collective, eager and equally determined initiatives from that part of the world, especially from the East Asian countries. Of course, we are working with them on awareness campaigns, also on the memorandum of understanding that we have signed with them about research, technological innovations, awareness, and so forth.
All right.
Yeah.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much indeed.